There's a lot of pressure on kids graduating high school, and even before they graduate, to figure out what they want to do next. And the big thing that is being pushed as the next step is going to college, which I'm not going to do. And I have a whole community of people who think the same way, who agree that college isn't the best option for us, and it's not the best option for a lot of people who are currently going to college. But I know that it's still a big issue out there. Should you or should you not go to college? Are you going to be better off in general if you just go to college to be safe? There's a lot of people graduating college or working with college graduates who see that the entire 4-year training period isn't giving them what they need to really enter the workforce. With the internet exploding, information is out there and it's for free, and if you have the drive to go get it, you don't have to pay for it or move or take on loans to start learning. You can just start reading. You can just start writing papers on your own. A lot of alternatives have been coming up, and a lot of people are exploring those ideas that I don't have to go to college. I can go to a trade school. I don't have to go to college. I can just start working. Lots of things like that. I do hope that for a lot of people who are still on the fence, my story can kind of help you understand maybe what your goals are and whether or not college is an option that you even want to pursue at all. When I was looking into colleges, because I was after high school for a couple of months, even maybe a year, I had a lot of goals in mind that I kind of had to set to rights, because you don't want to go to college not knowing what you want to do. A lot of people do that and switch majors a couple times. It's never necessarily been a horrible thing, but it does mean that you're spending a lot of money for indirect results. You don't really know what you're getting for what you're paying. So I came up with a couple of goals that I wanted to get out of my post-high school experience. I wanted to learn how to live on my own, which meant managing my budget, getting food and supplies, learning how to transport myself different places, kind of this idea of being independent. And I wanted to learn to work, which doesn't just mean learning a specific skill set so that I could go get that job. It meant, what do people in the real marketplace need? What are they looking for in job candidates? Do you have to be a really good communicator? Do you have to have a specific drive? There's just lots of things that go into being in the workplace that I've heard college graduates lack. Those are my two goals: learn how to live on my own, learn how to work. The more I looked into it, college wasn't going to get me either of those. You don't really learn how to live on your own in college. What you learn how to do is live completely provided for in a close packed community with a bunch of people around your age. It's just not, that's not how the real world is when you go out and live on your own. And I knew that even though I could get a job in college, I could maybe even get a job on campus if I wanted to learn how to work. It's not the same as trying to start your career, trying to start going out into the workplace, because you have to choose part-time jobs. You can't be working full-time and taking classes full-time unless you want to not sleep. One of my ulterior goals was to be living a healthy lifestyle where I was able to sleep, where I wasn't incredibly stressed, where I had enough time to pursue my hobbies. And that's another thing that college doesn't give you. Everyone that I know who goes to college is incredibly busy, is incredibly stressed, isn't getting enough sleep. It makes me sad. My personal non-college path after high school was to join a program called Praxis. Now, this wasn't easy. There was a rigorous application process, and a lot of people who are now in the program actually got rejected once or twice before they were taken into the program. And that's because it's a high-paced entrepreneurship apprenticeship program. So the first 6 months of Praxis are project-based training that you direct yourself. There are mentors to help guide you, but they don't tell you what to do, and that's the first reason that it differs from college. They tell you, this month, you're going to document a project that moves you closer to your goals. And you're like, okay, what is that? And they're like, you tell me. You could start your own business and document that for a month. You could go and do a sales project for a business you already know. Try to get them a bunch of leads, try to write them a good sales letter and test it out. Things that you would do in the real workplace and that move you closer to goals like the ones I had of wanting to manage yourself in the workplace, wanting to live on your own. The second 6 months, you apprentice with one of the Praxis business partners. So the way this works, Praxis has two different markets. The first market is people who are looking for alternatives to college, which is me. And those people that they're looking for are highly motivated, highly ambitious, want to do well in a job and have a lot to learn. The second market is businesses, like small startups, entrepreneurs in high growth businesses, high growth markets that are looking to hire entry-level employees who are going to really hit the ground running. And that can be very hard to do. I don't know if you've ever had any experience applying for jobs or hiring for jobs, but it's a messy system. And it's hard to find a good match, especially for kind of startup situations where you want someone who's not just going to sit back and expect everything to be told to them. Because when you're starting a business, everything's new. There's no roadmap to tell you what to do. So what Praxis does is they train these kids, and then they find the businesses that are hiring, and they connect the two. They say, all right, you guys who are just been doing all these projects, start creating one project a week for one of these businesses, a different one each week, and send it off, see if it's a good connection. And if that business says, that project looks stellar, we want you on our team, then you apprentice with them for 6 months. It's a win-win for everybody. You get a job, the startup gets a good employee, and all the while you're kind of growing your network and meeting more people in entrepreneurship. You're meeting more people who are your age, who are like you and want to, and are really driven, not just kind of sitting back, happy to check whatever boxes that they think are going to make them successful. And you're getting hands-on experience. Now, this is something that is a big difference from college. I don't really understand things, they don't stay in my brain if I'm not diving in and actually doing them. I am currently in Praxis. I'm currently doing my 6-month apprenticeship. Which means I have a job, which means that I go to work every day. I have to travel, I have to manage my own budget. I'm living on my own. And I'm learning to work. I just met with my boss the other day to kind of go over, what are the expectations for the role that I'm in. We've only been operating since April, and already we've seen a lot of growth. We have a lot of opportunities for growth in the future. And finding out for me how to be a part of that is directly meeting my goal of learning to work, because it means I see the business, I see what needs to be done, and I am able to step up and do that instead of just ticking off boxes, instead of just doing what I'm told to do. Long story short, why am I not going to college? Because it's not going to meet my goals. What am I doing now? I'm actually in the workplace, and I've been doing product-based training, learning how to make a product that people respond to, and getting real feedback. It's something that, you're going to have to do eventually. Even if you go through college, you want to get a job afterwards, you want to start learning what employers want from college graduates, and I'm betting it's not going to be much different than what people want from just anybody. You want to have someone who's willing to work and willing to put in the hours, willing to learn. That's something that you can start cultivating without going to college, if that's your goal. What I'm hoping that I've done is kind of illuminate the subject of opting out of college and what it looks like for someone like me. I mean, I'm 19, I've only been out of high school for a few years, and I'm living by myself in Chicago. I'm working every day. There's just a lot that people think that they can't do until after college. They think that they have to be trained first, and that's not true. And I mean, I'm a living example of the fact that you can just go out there and get started. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, how I got here, what I'm doing next, then please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to do anything I can to help, and I'll hopefully update you with more videos as this goes along. I encourage you to examine your own goals for what you want after high school, even what you want in high school. If you want to be someone who owns their own business, that's something you can do at any point in time. To conclude, I don't need college. Do you?